ownership. Our history is there and the rest can't change it. Schools don't teach it. Seek it is sacred.
Give it up for them. Where y'all at, man? Come on, man. What's up? They got all the points, man. It's like 8-1, 8-0 right now, man. Hey, man, I think if youth wins, I think we okay. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, train wheels protocol. All right? Let's keep going. All right, so what are spider webs? Okay, they call it proteinaceous fibers. Fancy word of saying proteins that make long fibers that stick. Well, you got them. Spider webs, the internet, are the bones to your cells. I'm going to say that again. Spider webs are the bones to your cells. Your cells have a skeleton like you have a skeleton. It's just that your skeleton is made out of calcium in the form of bone, hydroxyapatite, but the skeleton of your cells are composed of microtubules. Okay, microtubules can polymerize and depolymerize. Spider-Man's webbing depolymerizes after 2 hours. Okay? And when you see him press this, which, by the way, is a mudra, is an Indian mudra, as well as sign language. You know what the sign language is? IOI, ILI? Do you know what this is sign language for? Now, this is the horns. This is what they be trying to say Spider-Man is doing. Spider-Man does not shoot his web with his thumb down. His thumb's open. Big difference. What is this? What is the sign for this? What does this mean? I love you. This means love. So when Spider-Man is shooting webs, that's what he's from his heart. This is where he comes from. He's all heart. That's deep. That's very, very deep. Okay? So, what you're looking at here is actually a picture of a cell. This might be a HeLa cell. Anybody know what a HeLa cell is? H-E-L-A? There we go. Say that a little louder, brother. Henrietta Lacks. Who was Henrietta Lacks?
She was a black woman, and I think her cells are what they're doing all their stem cell research for.
Right. Henrietta Lacks is a woman who transitioned back in '51, the same year that Rosalind Franklin, right here where y'all sitting at, discovered the structure of DNA. She had cancer in the cervix. The doctor, Dr. Gay, G-Y, I can't remember his first name right now, but extracted tissue from her without her knowing, so stole her tissue, and recognized how the cancer cells were replicating at such an alarming rate, where to this day they're still replicating. In every biology book you've read, in every science course you've taken, and every picture of the nucleus that you saw is because of Henrietta Lacks and the study of her cells that have multiplied and have been replicated almost 20 tons worth of cells, man. Exchanged all over the world. And I believe this is one of them. This is a HeLa cell. And what you're seeing, these are all microtubules. What you see, it looks like a web. You know? The thing that allows your cell to have shape, for it to create a pseudopod, an arm or foot to reach out, endocytosis, exocytosis, flagellum, you know, with cilia in order to swim around and stuff. All of this is due to microtubules. Okay? Mitosis, where your cells are replicating and you're creating more cells. Microtubules are responsible for lining all the chromosomes up in the center. All right? So, I'm going to come back to that. All right, so let's go here. So this is a microtubule. It's like a straw. Okay? But instead of the straw just being made of one material, let's say it's made up of little units that are shaped like beans, and maybe these beans are called tubules. Now if you look right here, you see all the little beans that make up the tube. And as they grow, they polymerize. As they break down, they depolymerize. But if I pull one of these tubulin out, right, you have an alpha tubulin and you have a beta tubulin. Okay? And inside of the alpha and beta tubulin are nothing but aromatic rings. The same aromatic rings I was telling you before. What makes this so important? The fact that the aromatic rings are able to change charge, where everything could be in a plus state, everything could be in a minus state, or it could be in a superposition, which is quantum mechanics, meaning they could be in both states or infinite states at once. Okay? And that's what this yellow stream is. This is the hydrophobic pocket that contains the quantum superposition, what they call qubits, inside of the tubulin. So as these tubulin come together, they make microtubules, and when you see Spider-Man, I mean, what is he doing? He's essentially connecting himself to something, either bringing it to him or using it as a means to swing from, okay? And microtubules do the same thing for your cells. So when we get into hyperdimensional biochemistry tomorrow, I'm going to be talking a lot about the mitochondria and this information right here. Okay, yes, you do have neurons called pyramidal neurons containing many microtubules, which contain many tubulin that can either be in these two dipole states of plus and minus, or superpositioned into an infinite state. Okay, so that's his web shooters. That's exactly what they look like, actually, when he loads them up. And what are these? These are centrioles. Centrioles are inside your cells. They make infinite amount of microtubules. Infinite amounts, like a microtubular gland. The same way web shooters constantly shoot his webs out. All right? And they are the eye of the cell because they form a right angle as electricity and magnetism creates a perpendicular angle to each other, right? Or electrons starting with L, which represents the perpendicular, right? These two form that shape, and the light that comes into the cell that goes through each one of these, the cell can utilize that light to know whether or not I can move in this direction, dangers in that direction, we can grow here. They can see through these web shooters. All right, there are 9 sets of 3. This is a better geometrical schematic of them. If you see 1, 2, 3 with a 9-spoke wheel, look at that geometry, man. This is how your body is formed. From the mother, they call it the mother centriole and the daughter centriole. Yeah, bro, we ain't nowhere to be found, okay? They ain't about us, okay? All right, so we're about to wrap it up. So this right here represents the arch degree, the royal arch to be specific in masonry. Here are the 2 pillars of Yakin and Boaz. Here are the 4 brothers that you see in the book of Ezekiel, the 4-faced monster, which is really the grand cross of Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Okay, on a 64 checkerboard floor, which represents the 64 codons of genetics, and the casket underneath representing the underworld of the death of the flesh, the rise of the spirit up to a higher frequency. The reason why the arch degree is Cancer is because Cancer is where the summer solstice occurs. And that's why Spider-Man represents Cancer. He is a Cancer in the movie debut July 5th, which is Cancer. All right? When we first see Spider-Man introduced in Civil War, this is the t-shirt he has on. Why he got a picture of the pizza? Because it's a pizza pie. And specifically a slice is missing to represent what? Money? This is about life, and is one of the reasons the Egyptian cross, the Ankh, is used as a symbol of life. The Kamenu, or the sacred 8, or Amun and Amunet, Nun and Nunet, Ket and Keket, Het and Hehet. This is the primordial interweaving of the energies that give birth to the rising of the mound, where a tomb is produced, or atom, so that elementals can be produced, and from elementals all physical reality can start to manifest. Okay? And yeah, these are the centrals making microtube that they straight shooting webs out. Come on, you know? Polymers, man. So let's go back to that. Yeah, so with that being said, that is my presentation. I'm about to cut that short so that we can get into the Q&A, but that is my decoding of Spider-Man. Now I know I didn't like go through the movie. I know there's people that still gonna watch it, and I know in Q&A like, I can answer a lot of stuff about the basic storyline. I wanted to just get into science, you know what I mean? So, any questions?
Yo, niggas make a little pay, now they feel they made it. Still rock chains and whips, still on a slave ship. Our history is there and the rest can't change it. Schools don't teach it, seek it is sacred. Honor thy mother and father is the basics. Rise like you're supposed to slip out the matrix. Still dumbstruck thinking this is entertainment. Escape to reality, most lives are wasted.